How are you? This is Jill Maragos. This is the My Mom is a Bitch podcast. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm happy to be here. I'll tell you why. I'm happy to be anywhere. Got my appendix taken out last week. A little bit of a surprise. I had thought that I ate way too many Muddy Buddies, like chocolate-covered Tex-Mex kind of things on the way home from the Nashville Zanies. Just keep awake on my drive back to Memphis. And turns out my appendix had shit the bed. So by 5 o'clock on Tuesday, they were taking it out, which is fine. I feel fine. I'm fine. It didn't explode or burst or whatever. I had laparoscopic. My holes are a little sore. Not in the fun way, but in the laparoscopic way. But the more interesting thing, I think, of all of this is that in my time of emergency, truly, because that shit did not feel very good, the people that I wanted around me or wanted to include in this, in this occasion, were my husband, who came home because I cried like a big old baby. I called him. I'm like, I don't feel good. I literally was just like the kid who skinned her knee. I mean, but with my appendix, and he came home and he took me to the ER and he was lovely. And I felt like, okay, this is my person and he's taking care of me. And I texted my best friend, Ellen, and I texted my Aunt Cynthia, who's like a surrogate mother to me. And those were the people I wanted involved in my shit. I didn't feel any obligation to try to tell my mother or, use it to hurt her or whatever else. I had my family around me and I didn't have the want or need to include my mother, which I know this podcast is called My Mom is a Bitch, but this shit's a process, you guys. Deciding to end a relationship with a parent does not fucking come easily. I named it My Mom is a Bitch because I think it's hilarious that people could be out there being like, hey, have you heard My Mom is a Bitch? I just think that's funny. And I thought it was a little catchy and whatever. But it's always a process to be like, am I doing the right thing? Am I a horrible person? Check it in with yourself, But to me, that was the biggest lesson out of all this stuff. I think that wraps it up. I struggled with, I feel like I'm running out of stuff. I don't want to be this person who just tells the same story over and over and over again. But what I wanted to talk about, what I thought we could do is just take a trait of narcissists and just go a little bit deeper into that stuff every week. So, because here's the thing. This stuff might sound repetitive, but that's also sort of the goal of this podcast, is just to keep reiterating, you're not the one who's wrong. You're not crazy. So, fuck it. Let's just do that. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to blame all of my shortcomings this week on the fact that I no longer have an appendix. That's what it is. All my thoughts, all the good words were stored in the appendix like a book. I mean, I never looked at it, like you never look at an appendix in a book. They were there. They were there if I needed them. Okay. What I wanted to talk about today is infantilization. Look at that shit. I got it right off the bat. I said it right. I had to practice right before I hit play, record. See, my words suck already. Infantilization. The parent, sometimes not the parent, could be your husband, could be your wife, treating you like a baby. It's very common. They do not want you going off and becoming your own person, you guys. They don't want you fully formed adults. They want you, they see you as an extension of themselves. And they want to keep you small. They want to keep you childlike, because if they do that, then you still need them. So, a first pop-up moment in my life, for example, when that happened, coming home from the 6th grade, what do I? 10, 11? We had that fun talk that all the girls get to go to the cafeteria and watch the special movie on what's going to happen to the changes in your body. And we got a little kit of stuff with tampons, pads and stuff. Sorry, guys. I know you love talking about this. And we got a little booklet called Growing Up and Liking It. And I got all kinds of brand new information. And I felt like, wow, this is crazy. This is really crazy. Stuff that's happening in your body. So I come home from the 6th grade, being 10 or 11, and my mom's having cramps. And I said, hey, I just got this new book from school. They suggested that you could help alleviate your cramps by putting your elbows against the wall, tilting your hips toward the wall, kind of stretching out the front of your body. And oh, man, did she not appreciate that. You're telling me to do exercises. This is, she fucking flew off the handle. I was really confused, but I'm like, sorry. I did read in the book, but, I didn't have my period at the time yet, but I did read in the book that, you can be a little bit irritable. So I'm like, okay, sorry, So let's fast forward to, I was like late 13, almost 14, and I get my period for the first time ever. I bloomed into womanhood, y'all. And I am curled up on the floor crying with severe cramps. Severe cramps. I used to have them so bad that I would pass out. And my mom comes into the room and she said, why don't you do your exercises? And turns around and leaves. So she didn't come back because I thought for sure she's going to let her snarky comment, but she's going to come back with some Advil or something. Nope. That was her response. So a lot of stuff going on there, narcissist-wise. When you look at it, she doesn't like being told what to do. She looks down on exercising for some reason as well. But talk about the moment that your child becomes an adult, right? Girl-wise. And what is it for guys? When your balls drop? When you start rubbing your pee-pee against the sheets? I don't know. Maybe when your voice changes. Not sure. Get a job? Chest hair? I'll have to look it up. Anyway, not a fan of me becoming a woman. And those, I'll tell you, this is what I found on the internet. The common methods that a parent or your partner could use to infantilize you. That's twice. I got it right twice in a row, you guys. Is disapproval, interference, and criticism. For example, every time as an adult, my mom would come to my house, my husband's house from out of town. Oh, if this was my house, I would have painted this room this color. I wouldn't have that there. I would put that. There was a lot of criticism of the house, and I think, especially because it was a pretty nice house, I thought I did a pretty good job. I think that anything that she saw as being adult, she didn't want that. Oh my God, I just remembered something. Flashback. She arranged our forks and spoons. She arranged our fucking forks, spoons. You guys. You know how in your organizer, what do you call it for your utensils? So there's like knives. There's the big long slot for the knives. Of course the knives go there. Of course. It's built for the knives, the butter knives. But the other slots are the same exact length. They're the same exact length. So you can put the forks wherever you want, the spoons wherever you want, the teaspoons and the dessert forks wherever you fucking want. Our forks went into one place. And she fucking rearranged it. Because that's not where her fucking forks are. Oh my gosh. A comedy show that she went to, her feedback was, well, everyone else seemed to enjoy you. So it's like, okay, well, you couldn't hear me. You refused to wear your hearing aids. So I don't think you would enjoy me anyway because you couldn't hear me. Things like that, disapproval. When I went to engineering school, I decided to go to engineering school. I took out loans. I paid for that shit all by myself, took out student loans. She told me that I shouldn't go to engineering school because my ex-boyfriend was really smart and he ended up dropping out. So, you do the math. Or I guess I shouldn't do the math because I'm not smart enough to work it out on my own. Girls aren't good at math. Turns out I graduated, summa cum laude in engineering in 3 years. But that's fine. Mom. Suck it. Things that they'll just disapprove of you. They'll disapprove of your parenting techniques, disapprove of clothes you wear, disapprove of the way you keep your house, disapprove of your spouse, disapproving of you having a baby, disapproving of your career. All those things they will disapprove of, or they will flat out try to interfere, try to stop you from going out and doing those things, get in your way. Also, like, here, give me that, I'll do that. I think you should chop those pieces of ham up smaller. That's an actual thing. She was criticizing my husband on how he chopped up pieces of ham. And the other kind of aspect, I don't know if this is the exact same thing, if this is her trying to keep me as a child, or her only ever seeing me as a child, or her not acknowledging me as an adult. But one of the last conversation, maybe the last conversation we did have, she was like, I love you. And I'm like, yeah, I love you too, Mom. And she's like, I still remember when you were 10 and we would play board games. Well, yeah, I've lived a bunch of time since then. Like, you don't know anything about me, though. Like, she only goes back to that time in my life when I was little and I adored her and I looked up to her and I thought she was fun and pretty, and I worshiped the ground she walked on. That's infantilization. With relationships, it can happen just as well. That's the crazy thing, because it's like, you didn't give birth to me. You're not my dad, but with relationships, it's interesting. I had the one that was really bad, that was cheating on me all the time. It was constantly like, oh, if you'd hit something on a table, oh, you're so clumsy. Like, he'd magnify all the little things that you did wrong and sort of like keep you, like, trying to convince you that you're not smart enough to do things, or that you're, like, his nickname for me, which I fucking hated, he'd call me Bopey. And I'm like, don't call me that. It sounds like dopey. He's like, I like it. It's Bopey. It's cute. I'm like, I don't like it. Stop calling me Bopey. But he just kept calling me that. He's like, well, everybody thinks it's cute. And I'm like, but I don't. So don't call me that. But like, his justification was like, I want to, and everybody else likes it, so I should be able to call you that because of those reasons. It's like, well, then I should be able to call you stupid motherfucker because I like it. I think it applies. I think it's cute. Motherfucker. Stupid motherfucker. Why not? Cocksucker motherfucker. That's your nickname. I like it. Even if it offends you, it doesn't matter. But he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He treated me like I was stupid and like I didn't know what I was doing. I came over to fucking help him clean his apartment, you guys. I went to his house to help him clean his apartment, and I was criticized for the mop I used to clean the floor. No, you can't use this mop. It's not good. Like, it's crazy to me. But that's the thing that they do. If it's being done to you, I would love to know examples. I would love to know examples of what these fuckers are trying to do to keep you small, make you feel stupid, make you feel dependent. What is a child? What's a child? A child needs you. They're not going to go anywhere because they can't. They're trying to make you not believe that you're good with money, that you're able to cope as a human being, as an adult, that you're able to maintain a job, you can drive a car. I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's true. Oh, you can't do that. That's what they're going to tell you. You can't do things. How did they do it? Let me know. Send me an email. What is it? Evil Mom Pod. Oh my gosh. It's the appendix. It's sucking all of the intelligence out of my body. They threw it in the trash. It's in Memphis. I need to go find it somewhere because all my words are in there. evilmompod@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know. What are they doing to try to infantilize you? Oh gosh. If it's a man and they're trying to make you, it makes me so mad. Anyway, okay. That's okay. So that's like, we're at about 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and do this week's dramatic reading. Because I want to jump into the self-help stuff. Because usually I'm way too heavy on the complaining. And I don't want to be that girl. So let's do the reading. And then we're going to jump into one in a series of things I want to talk about. Ooh, intrigue. Okay, so this week's dramatic journal reading. I feel like you need a little bit of context. Mark was, I guess, our next door neighbor. When we moved into this house, he stopped by as we were just looking at the house and spent like an hour trying to tell us like where the previous owners kept their Christmas tree, and he was just all up in our business. And then we went back to look at the house a second time, like at 8:00 at night, and he and his wife pop over and knock on the front door just as we walk in, going, "Oh, we're in the neighborhood watch." Like they were really super fucking nosy, and I hated this guy from the fucking get-go. So we tried not to interact with them at all. I think we did a pretty good job. Anyway, that's the context. So here we go. This week's dramatic journal reading. Someone put vegetables all over Mark's truck. I walked out of the house today and he had carrots and lettuce all over his truck. Ha ha ha. I got to see karma play out in vegetable form. Like whole fucking carrots and whole heads of iceberg lettuce. Good. Fuck Mark, that lingering douchebag. I hope it takes him all day to clean off. Okay. That is your well-intentioned and I think trying to be kind-hearted host being pretty bitter, I guess, and spiteful in her journal reading. That's pretty funny. It couldn't have taken him that long to clean up. They were literally like heads of lettuce and like entire carrots just placed on like his windshield and stuff, which I thought was kind of funny. If it was shredded carrots, it would have taken forever, but it's not bad. Don't judge me, you guys. Okay. Here's what we're going to do for the self-help section. And this, you know what? I feel like we're going to talk about something called cognitive behavioral therapy. And before you get all your underpants up your butt crack, relax. Okay? Because it sounds either like hardcore meat, you know, we're going to put electrodes on your brain, or very like woo spiritually to some people. It's literally like the least like woo-woo thing in the world. It's so like, here's how your brain fucking works. Here's how you change your brain. And some of the techniques I've even suggested so far could be considered cognitive behavioral therapy. It's just a way of kind of talking about how your brain operates. And I think this is important for people to know, okay? Your brain is basically just a computer, and it works great. It's a fucking highly functioning machine. It's a fucking functioning machine. Okay. It's super, there are parts of your brain, I'm going to get, you know, I start to snooze when people start throwing around medulla or whatever. But here's how we're not like other animals. We'll have something happen to us. I think the classic example, or the one that I've read, is let's take a kid who is just a kid, has no experience with dogs, walks down the street, comes across a really vicious dog. The dog runs after him. The dog bites him. The kid goes back home and he's like, fuck, I hate dogs. Dogs scare me. I almost got bit by this dog. And from then on, the kid's going to kind of avoid that area with the dog. Maybe he takes the other way to school. He was taught that like if he walks down that street, the dog's going to come out and bite his ass. And that's kind of what we do. We store that stuff up. And that's kind of what we're working against. The goal then for that kid, if you ever wanted to have a dog or be safe around dogs, because not all dogs are shit dogs like that dog. I don't know what they're doing to that dog to make them all mean and everything, but knock that shit off. Dogs shouldn't be that mean. You should start training them, start giving them treats and be nice to them or whatever. But anyway, that dog is a clunker and almost bit the kid in our story. All right, I digress. So now, if this kid as an adult grows up, still afraid of dogs, most dogs are real nice and everything, and he wants to start liking dogs, he's got to untrain his brain to be afraid of dogs. And that's exactly how our brains work. I had the guy fucking yell at me in the street in the Jeep Cherokee. You bet your ass every time I fucking walk down that street now, my stomach starts fucking turning. All right? And as my cognitive behavioral therapist said to me, the concept in I would guess for everybody, not just for that particular therapist, was I'm sure y'all have heard the phrase, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. He flipped that. He's like, do unto yourself as you do unto others. We're awfully fucking nice to other people, aren't we? You ever have a friend come over crying, saying what a terrible thing they'd done? Maybe they went out on a date and they're like, oh, it was terrible. And I couldn't think of anything to say. And I farted in the car. And you're all, I'm sure it's fine. I mean, who cares? You're a good person, so you farted, right? You cut your friends, the people that you care about, shit tons of slack because you love them. What? Yeah. And so the concept is to do that shit for yourself. Do that for yourself. Do you hear how you talk to yourself? I hear how I talk to myself. Jill, what'd you do that for? Oh my God. Fucking, I can't believe you dropped that. So you dropped something in the kitchen. People drop shit all the time. Nobody is fucking perfect. I have news for you guys. I don't know if this is the first time you're hearing it here on the My Mom is a Bitch podcast. You're not fucking perfect. And you know what else? You don't have to be. We love you as is. As is. Love yourself as is. That's the concept. I think it's a good concept. And the concept is to fucking change your mind. And now let's talk about, I'm going to give you, okay. See, when I get oh my gosh, when I get amped up, is that the same thing as being amplified? It could be. Maybe I wasn't wrong there. Hey, look at me, cut myself some slack. What I want to do is give you a cognitive behavioral tool every week for a few weeks while we have them. These are really fucking useful. Okay. If they work for you, I'd love to know. Some of them won't. I find that like one or two of them really stuck for me. So those are probably the ones I'll lead with because I just like them. But I'll go through as many of them as I can find. He gave me a worksheet and I'll go through them. This is the one I don't even need the worksheet for. Okay. Because I know this one. This is what you do. Okay. Say Sharon in Dubuque had a bad fucking time of it. And, Bobby Blue Balls was a real prick last night, and she's beating herself up. She's like, you got right. So Susan from Dubuque's writing in her journal, I'm such an idiot. I told Bobby Blue Balls that I would meet him, and I was 5 minutes late, and now he's mad at me, and I'm behind at work. And I'm so stupid. I should plan better because I knew this project was due tomorrow, and I didn't have it ready, and I got waylaid because Betty was retiring, and they had a cake, and I ate all the cake. I told myself I was going to be low carb, and I didn't go low carb because it's good cake. It was really good. It was like fucking chocolate with strawberry filling, and I knew I was going to eat the cake, and I ate the cake, and I fucking hate myself. I hate my fat self. And that's her journal entry. Sounds pretty shitty, doesn't it? Now, Sharon from Dubuque is going to go back and read that entry and respond to herself in writing, if you want, or she can talk it out to her, however you feel better. Sometimes writing is therapeutic. Sometimes people just need to talk it out. Look in the fucking mirror and be like, okay, Sharon? Is it Sharon or Susan? I waver. Sharon, man, it's just cake. It's one piece of cake. What's life without cake? And so you're late a day. Are they going to fire you? You've been there for 15 years. You're doing a great job. What's the big deal? You're not going to lose any customers because of the fact that your project's a day late. It was an arbitrary date that they set anyway. And they're clearly not mad because they haven't emailed you back. And you're not fat. You're normal. And as far as fucking Bobby Blue Balls goes, you were 5 minutes late. What's the big fucking deal? You should not beat yourself up over being 5 minutes late to meet somebody who claims they love you. Never. What? That doesn't even. What? He's been late 90 million fucking times, and you were late once by 5 minutes, and he's yelling at you. You deserve better. You deserve better, Sharon/Susan from Des Moines/Dubuque. You deserve it. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. If your best friend said this shit to you, what would you say back to that person? What would you say to them? And I want you to write that down. Write it down. Write it to you. Because you deserve the same fucking breaks that you give the people that you care about. Because that is how you love yourself. You know, I've said it before and I'll fucking say it again. Because they keep going, you just need to learn to love yourself. You need to learn to love yourself. How? How? Love is a verb. Love's a verb. Cutting yourself some fucking slack is a way to love yourself. It's a verb. It's a way you do things towards people that you give a shit about. You would never go to your friend. And if you would, then you're a fucking narcissist and you should turn the shit off because you don't fucking deserve it. You would never go to your best friend and be like, I can't believe you ate a piece of cake with strawberry fucking filling. You're fat, blah, blah, blah. Never. Because that's a shitty fucking thing to do. And it's a shitty thing to do to yourself. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Eat the fucking cake and be good with it. And be like, tomorrow maybe I won't eat cake. Who cares? Life's fucking short. That's the goal. So you write it down, vent, and then respond to yourself. It actually helps quite a bit. All right? Give it a shot. Let me know. Does it work out? Or is this one of those ones where you're like, I don't know. Might go either way. I want to know. evilmompod@gmail.com. That's that one. I guess this might be a little, I thought I was going to run over today and I'm shorter. But that's okay. I don't need to babble at you for any longer than I already have. I've gotten some lovely emails. I'll say that. Thank you for those. If this is helping you, that's wonderful. Thanks for letting me know. It's my whole goal is to just keep reiterating that you're not the asshole here. Okay. You're doing all right. Again, email me. If you don't mind subscribing, that would be cool. Just so that the podcast network doesn't, hopefully not. I don't think they'd fire me. But anyway, yeah, I would love it if you subscribed. If you don't want to, that's fine too. I'm not a bully. I refuse to bully you. Thank you for listening. You're a good person. I like you for who you are. Try the exercise or try some of the other stuff on that I've talked about. If stuff works for you, let me know. And if it doesn't, let me know that too. Or if you got something you want to throw out there, I'll take it. But we'll talk about another one next week. And that's it. Okay. Talk to you soon. I just had the hardest time hanging up on you guys. All right. Okay. Bye.